Boxing King Media, powered by BYD. Mr. Frank Warren, we're out here at Milo's Restaurant. A bit of a posh dude. Thank you for the invite. Congratulations on joining the zone.
Thank you. We're delighted. It's an exciting journey that we've had, and we've got to a stage now where we're going on to the biggest stage of our journey, I believe, in the next few years. I'm looking forward to it.
You must be like Nostradamus, because all them years ago when you started off Box Nation, you had this vision to have a dedicated boxing channel, and people laughed at you. You know, rival promoters thought you was crazy, and now it's like a big whirlwind, and you're now joining the channel that's fully dedicated.
They're all like my wife. They all laugh at me. But it's a great opportunity for us. It's a great opportunity for us promoters. It's brilliant for Dazn because we're all under one umbrella and we can make the fights, I believe, that all the fans want to see.
What's the plan with regards to dates? How many shows you're going to put out? And is there like an agreement you've got a certain amount of cross-promotion fights as well?
Well, we've got quite a few shows left on TNT, and that finishes in March next year. Then from the 1st of April onwards, we're on on Dazn, and then from there on, we'll be announcing some great shows. We'll be doing more dates, and we'll be expanding what we're doing. I want to be doing some overseas shows as well. Yeah, my son George put this deal together. He's the CEO of Queensbury. He's done a brilliant job in doing this, and we believe this is the direction that boxing and certainly Queensbury are going in.
And George gave quite a passionate speech in the dinner earlier on, where some of the writers who are a bit more old school, they were kind of a bit against the idea, talking about the older generation struggling to download the app. Obviously, you're from different generations, so you kind of give me the answer as to why this is the right move.
Well, I mean, where the generation I come from, I didn't know what an app was. Look, you've got to move with the times. You have to move how people consume TV. I come from a generation, for example, in the 80s when, I don't know, EastEnders or Coronation Street was on, 25 million people would watch it. They get like 3 million people watch it now because people consume what they want to watch in a different way. And that's the same with sport and certainly with boxing. When I'd done my first deal with ITV, in those days, there was no live boxing. Everything was done on a 24-hour delay basis because the view was if you did live shows, people wouldn't buy tickets to go and watch the fights. That's how it was. That's a fact. And I fought to get live shows. And those shows took place on a Tuesday night. They were shown on a Wednesday night on World of Sport. I fought to get the shows on the Saturday night. So we had Wednesday night shows and Saturdays, and then it became, over a period of time, all Saturday night shows. There was no advertising on the rings. There was no music when people walked in. There was no ring entrances. All those things we fought for. I went to Sky, and everyone said, "Oh, it's finished. You've gone to Sky. You've taken all your fighters there." That was Frank Bruno, Joe Calzaghe, Eubank was with us at the time, Steve Collins. All these guys, we took them all there. Nassim Hamid, and we took this young guy called Ricky Hatton. How are you going to build a fighter on Sky? Who's the biggest fighter at the end of the day? It was Naz. We went back to ITV. We've moved on. We've done our own. We've done Satanta, biggest audience they had there. And I was getting back when I went to ITV. They had no domestic boxing, so we built that. We went to Satanta, built their biggest audience there. Box Nation was ours. Went to BT. BT had no boxing. We'd built a massive roster of fighters and told them day one, we will be really strong in the heavyweight division. We'll get a world heavyweight champion. We'll get the best young fighters coming through. And we did that with Daniel Dubois and with Tyson Fury. So we picked our moments, and we are now where we are. We've evolved. We've gone from working some brilliant people at TNT as it is now, some great people over the years, and picking great people when it was BT who left, some fabulous people, but now's the time for a change. And we're moving on to a platform that has a global audience, a big global audience, and it's our job now to embrace that and build on it like we've built over the last 6 years in dominating the home market and dominating the world market as far as a couple of weight divisions is concerned. And I believe we can do that. And they've changed their management. I mean, I can remember like when Eddie and I were having all our shit banter between us, I can remember saying things like, somebody said to me, "Oh, you said it was an app." It was back then. But you know what? How people consume and watch things now are different. And the management they've got in over the last 2 years have been brilliant people. People we've worked with in the industry, whether they've been at BT, whether they've been at IMG, really respected people. And also, Shade, who's the boss there, you know, great vision, and Solen Bladley, brilliant vision. And speaking with them and talking about where they want to see Dazn go and where we feel we can go, we're all like-minded. So this is going to be a great journey for everybody concerned. And it's been great for the fans because the fans are going to be able to we'll see some great fights there. I mean, great fights we've put on anyway, but some really good fights because we'll all be collaborating between us, Matchroom, and Golden Boy.
Fascinating. Do you think TNT will stay in boxing, or maybe work with somebody else?
No idea. I hope they do because I like to see everybody in boxing. Boxing needs as many outlets as it can get. It needs to stay as it is, and I think that's very important.
Just a couple of things I want to ask you from the weekend's boxing. I was speaking to Dominic Ingle recently, and he said about you that Dominic Ingle, he was talking about yourself, how you built fighters compared to other promoters, and he said that you always play the long game and you put them in the right fights at the right time. That's why you look at the longevity of the fighters rather than cashing in short term. It was like a compliment, basically. So I want to ask you, where did you get that skill from, spotting talent so early and kind of, building them?
When I was a kid, people think, I used to have, I had a second cousin who was a boxer, Johnny Wall. He was a very good boxer. I used to go and watch him. He weren't as dedicated as he should be. I used to go and watch him a lot, and I'd go to the gyms all the time. I'd always be at the gym watching people work, and when Joe Bugner and fighters that I signed, I worked their corners. I actually worked as a corner man with Ernie Fossey, who was my matchmaker at the time. So I'm not somebody who just sat on the outside the ring. I've been involved and done that, been in the gyms every day. And obviously, as I become more successful as a promoter, you can't spend that time. But I've got a good eye, and that's what I look for. I look for look for making the right move. Look, the best punch in boxing is the best time punch. Best knockout is always a great timing, and the best matches.
Name me one fighter that you backed or maybe picked when nobody else thought he could make it, and you was like, he's going to make it, and he's done it.
Daniel Dubois.
Great person. And you've mastered the art of bringing fighters back from losses. Dubois, Amir Khan, couple that spring to mind. Which one's been your favourite story, as in bringing them back from a loss?
That's probably about my ego more than anything, because of my belief in the fighter. I think Daniel. Amir, when he got knocked out in the first round, we brought him back within a couple of fights to win a world title. There's been a lot of them over the years. There's been a few guys. A loss is not the end of the world. It's what you learn from it and what you can do and what you can see. Listen, I've seen guys lose, and I know that's it. They ain't got it. They ain't quite right. They've not done this right. But there are other people where it's a feeling. It's like intuition. It's like you can watch a band and you say, I know that band's going to make it, and you're in that business. I know they're going to do the business. You can watch a footballer, a young kid, he'll get there in the end. And most of the guys that we work with are not guys who've gone off to the Olympics and won medals. They're guys who've not gone to the Olympics or been out there, like Joe Kawasaki, Ricky, loads of them over the years.
This is the last question I've got for you. I'm getting the poke. I just found out today that you're pescatarian. Never knew that about yourself. You're pescatarian, I believe. You'll eat fish?
I've not eaten meat for 38 years.
Never knew that.
No.
Any particular reason?
It started off as a health thing at the beginning, and then at the end it became, I don't like the way meat is farmed, animals are farmed. Sounds pretty strange to me being a boxing promoter in a business we're in, but at least, but boxers have a brain; they can make their own decisions. Yeah. I don't like the stuff they fill them up with. I don't like the fact that they put them on hormones to build them up and let them mature quickly. I don't like the fact that they're on a lot of antibiotics. So that's a health issue. That's my opinion. A couple of my kids are vegetarians. Others not. They weren't brought up like that. They were brought up to do what they want to do, and they make their own choices. But that was my choice.
Great, Mr. Moran, thank you very much for your
Pleasure,
time.
my son.
Appreciate it. Thank you.